Hey everyone, I'm Vortex TCG and welcome to the final gameplay video featuring my first episode's Sealed Only Imperialdramon, and on the right I'll be playing against Titamon, a fan favourite on the channel as I showcased it before. And just a heads up, if you are interested in Sealed Only Digimon, I strongly recommend that you watch the episode first before getting into this gameplay video. It'll show off the deck and my thought process about the games. But let's get into this game. So my opponent gets to go off first with the Gargo, and then I go into the Stingmon and Betamon. He pushes up and plays a Ruli, or Ruri as the the art says, and then he gets to go into the Lamortmon, suspends my guy, but passes to my turn, so I immediately unsuspend. So I swing into the Betamon here, and unfortunately it doesn't die, so now I'm a little bit susceptible to the Lamortmon rush, essentially, which is a bit worrying. I was just checking here about what the Ruli does, because I'm not too familiar. So I just go into the Dino Beamon here to finish off my turn, getting ready for my follow-up plays. So he has a pretty good start here. He goes into the option that gives him piercing, I believe. Uses the Ruli to give him DP, I believe. And so he gets to swing in and hits into a Wormmon and a Megadeth here. Megadeth really puts him behind, so feeling pretty good about that. Lucky for me. Then he goes into the Coagomon. Really interesting, that Digimon, quite frankly. I love it, the way that it plays around the suspend mechanic. I swing with the Dino B, and unfortunately it does die, so we're just making sure here about the memory gain, so it is what it is, but pass him to 2, so shouldn't be able to go into the level 3 here, hopefully. So he just goes into the set to 3 Ruli. And so here I go into the Wormmon here. And I'm feeling okay in this situation. It's not the greatest situation to be in, but you know, when it comes to this deck, it's you can only do so much. So what I do here is I go into the XVmon in Raising. It's harder to get blue sources out in this deck at the moment, so I thought going into the XVmon in Raising would be a lot more better here. And then I just play the Vmon to then reveal an XVmon, which will add to hand. And yeah, so he'll go into Coag, and then as he has enough memory, he'll go into the Lamortmon, suspending one of my guys. It'll be the Wormmon. And so he taps, swings, suspends my other guy, gains a memory, I believe, yep. And then he's also suspended the Vmon. Then he does it again, but security hits the option card that gives us piercing. So not great hits in the security. At least it's still alive, so we take that. And then he goes into Titamon to pass his turn, and then he'll gain a memory from the suspended guy. So I promote the XVmon here, go into the Stingmon from the Wormmon, and then I think here we're going to see some DNA Digivolution for the Imperialdramon. So get to draw, then I will... Now I've got a good stack going here, so got to make sure that I have the answers, and I think here I just play Megadeth because, quite frankly, I need to slow him down, and I don't really want to risk security again. If I swing into security and it dies, I pretty much lose the game, so I have to go for the option here. And so he just passes, goes into a level 5 Entmon, and then he plays the Angoromon in play. So I hatch another egg, and then at this point it's a bit of a struggle because I don't really want to constantly push things up, and then it get deleted by security. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time at least. So here, yeah, just making sure that I'm considering all my options here, because I think if I make one bad move, I could potentially lose the game here. So I swing, unsuspend, he gets the option card here, which suspends him, I believe. So I don't get the second swing, which is quite annoying, but it is what it is. I then go into the level 3 in raising the Kokabuteri. At this point, you know, just considering what I want to do with my, you know, my lead, because I feel like I'm in pretty good control of the game so far. And so I'm just considering all the options, because I think I have the Dragon mode in hand. So I was thinking, if I do, you know, rush that way with all those, will it actually pay up? So what I do here is I go into the Sneemon, and then I go into the Dragon mode to play out the... I think here I was just a little bit confused, but I go into the Stingmon and the XVmon, just because they have higher DP numbers, and I don't think... Either way, I think some of them are going to get deleted anyways, but it's just... I need essentially 3 swings on the following turn. I don't think he can deal with all of that, but he does go into the Titamon here, which allows him to discard to suspend a guy, and then he gains memory depending on how many discards. So he's going to just discard 1, and then he's going to swing over the Dragon mode, and then check security. It's a Kokabuterimon. Doesn't get to unsuspend, so feeling a little bit better about that in this situation. I don't know if it was possible, but maybe he goes like Entmon to attack into the XVmon. Oh, actually no, he couldn't, because he needs to go into the Titamon, so I guess he couldn't really do that much. But at this point, I just got to hope for security, I think. So I go into a more safer option, removing the blocker. I think that was a blocker. And now I have double swings with the Imperialdramon. So swing, unsuspend, only a memory boost, swing again, and go to game 2. And so we get into game 2, and I get to start off here first. I go into the Kokabuterimon, and I go into the Vmon after as well. No search, unfortunately, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And he goes into the Angora promo, and then goes into Ruli. So I swing with the Vmon, and unfortunately, it does unfortunately die, but now I know there's less Titamon in the deck. And then he pushes up to go into the Kowagamon, and then plays the promo Ruli to pass off his turn. So at this point, I'm in a bit of a predicament, because I'm not too sure what I should do. But what I do here is I go into the Dino Beamon, just so I can guarantee some aggression on the following turn. And so now, you know, like, not in a great position, but we move. He goes into Lamortmon, and then he's able to apply some pressure, but there's nothing really suspended on my field, so can't really do that much. He swings into security and hits an XVmon, then he goes into the Titamon to pass the turn to 3. So at this point, feeling pretty confident, I'd say. Obviously my hand is a little bit bricky, as it usually is, especially for a sealed only deck. So I'm just considering, do I want to push out here? So I decide to push out. I swing into security, draw a card, and unfortunately it is another tamer, so not really what I really want to see, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So I just play Megadeth to get rid of the Titamon, because I know it's going to be a big problem coming into the next following turns. So he goes into Lamortmon, and now he's able to get a lot of DP, so he can beat over it, and also... oh no, he doesn't have piercing. Sorry, I keep on forgetting it's actually the option card here, but he's able to beat over it, and so he swings into security again, I believe gaining more DP and also using the effect here to go into level 6, but unfortunately he doesn't have it, and then unfortunately it does die due to the Dragon mode. So for all intents and purposes, everything's been reset now, so feeling pretty good about this situation for sure. I go into the Vmon in Raising, then the Stingmon, and then I go into the Imperialdramon to end the turn. So a really nice progression to the level 5, and not giving me any extra memory from the Tamer. So he goes into an egg, goes into the Angoromon, and then he goes into the Kabuterimon blocker in play, and then he's looking to Digivolve on top of it, so he goes into the Lamortmon, passes me to 1. So I push up here, I have Stingmon, so I'm able to get some draws, so I unsuspend and draw, and unfortunately it dies to the Chaosmon, so yeah, not the greatest thing here for sure. So at this point I'm just worrying, like, because I don't think I have a level 3 there, but I'm not too sure on what I should do exactly. I think at this point I'm understanding that he doesn't really play much removal, so it's tempting to just hard play a big guy here, but I decide against it, and so I just go to the Vmon and then add 1 and then pass the turn. He promotes the Angora, goes to the Titamon to suspend the Vmon, discarding 1 guy and then also gaining a memory, swings into it, does a check, and it's Gigadeath. So feeling, not Gigadeath, Megadeath. Gigadeath is a different card. Megadeath here, and it's really useful. It really does end up saving me, I cannot lie. So he hard plays the Terriermon here to pass the turn. So I go into the Betamon here in Raising, and yeah, I don't really have much to, continue this game plan. So here I've just got to consider playing a big guy, and that's what I do. I go into the Imperialdramon here, passing him with 5, and I don't think he has a way of gaining security attack +1, so I'm hoping that this is enough. But we will see. It also matters about security, because if there's something in security, it could just end my turn completely and give him the game here. So he's got to consider what he's got to do. I don't think he has a level 4 in this hand, otherwise he'll be hard playing it very quickly, going into the Lamortmon and the Titamon, but he goes into the memory boost to suspend, swings at security, it dies to the XVmon. And now it's just a case of what do you do, essentially. He swings to the Terriermon, it dies again. And the board is open, so he passes me with 1 memory. So I've just got to hope that there's nothing bad in security, so I can attack again with the Imperialdramon. That's essentially what this game comes down to now. 8k, so it's not that bad when it comes to DP, but he got the Lombre, unsuspend, it's nothing bad, and I swing for game.